First bullet point in a news release from Representative Chuck Edwards of North Carolina, whose district includes the Asheville area hit hard by Hurricane Helene. Hurricane Helene was not geoengineered by the government to seize and access lithium deposits in Chimney Rock. We are so fucking cooked, dude. Make homeschooling illegal now. Make private schools illegal. Stop, shutter every charter school. Fund the public schools immediately, Chinese style, okay? We are actively making the population dumber, dude. Oh my God. People think everything's a conspiracy theory. Sometimes it's not, okay? Sometimes you just don't have access to the information. Our brightest minds are also educating Instagram geoengineering. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's time for some hogwash. We had a meeting with parties and all parties involved at the site and established that it was a no-fly, no-drop zone hours before, and it sent crews to resupply helos in another area. This was not one of our helos. It was a black attack helicopter there to destroy the supplies. They flew in and hovered around for a bit, looking like they wanted to land despite our no signals telling them no. Then they dipped down and performed a rotor wash, which seemed deliberate, then flew off, destroying a lot of the staging area and harming the people directly below them in the staging area. I was conducting a canine security sweep across the parking lot. You know this is not a cop. This is like a volunteering security guard, okay? This helo was unmarked and we were able to zoom in and see masked persons. Who flies unmarked helos like this? Special forces or private contractors? Local PD came in and we've been trying to find / track their flight info to find out who they are and where they flew it from. Nothing. They're ghosts. 40 minutes prior to this, 2 unmarked black SUVs running blue lights rolled in, circled around, and immediately left. Some people are going to say this is undiagnosed schizophrenia. Those people are right. They're correct. I have no answer to that. I just don't understand it. I do not understand it. It's like when you don't know why certain things happen. In normal circumstances, when something that you don't fully understand happens, like, is your immediate fucking response to it, something world changing is afoot. And every involved party that I don't fully understand, I am going to ascribe negative intentions to. As a matter of fact, I'm going to ascribe murderous intent. That's a weird way to fucking live, okay? Like when I see things that I don't fully comprehend, and there are plenty that I don't fully comprehend. I'm not the smartest person, not the brightest crayon, you know? I don't immediately go, oh, this thing is trying to kill me in a secret way. In a secret, convoluted way, it's trying to kill me because I'm the main character. I always think, well, there's probably some alternative, very logical reason for what I just experienced. And I feel like for a lot of people, they just don't have that part of their brain. Like, I genuinely don't think they ever look at the situation like that. Like the Noah airplane flying directly to the eye of the storm is a perfect example of this. We covered it yesterday with that TikTok conspiracist who was like, why is the government airplane flying directly into the eye of the storm? Now, we know why. We've covered it a lot on this broadcast, but there was a point in time when I didn't know, you know? You're not born with like this information. But before I found out by examining and learning why this unique thing happens where planes fly directly into the eye of the storm, I Googled it because I was curious, okay? And the answer was pretty simple. That is how they track the impact and the trajectory of hurricanes in order to make the proper evacuation orders. That's it. This is her OG vid. This afternoon, unmarked military-style helo flies into local distribution area and rotor washes, destroys supplies in Burnsville, North Carolina. This has 354,000 likes, dude. they clearly wanted to destroy all the supplies, but all they did was basically hover over it, and they weren't able to. Now, understand, this is a very common aspect of conspiracy theorists. Like, you think this guy that wanted to fucking destroy all of the supplies doesn't have the capability of doing so? Like, he wanted to do this secret thing, right? This, like, weird, unique thing. He wanted to destroy hurricane relief supplies, and he just failed to do so. It's like, is that what you think is going on? She said the Black Hawk wasn't on the radar, just a lie. It was marked. Unfortunately, the lack of situational awareness by the pilot and uninformed observers on the ground made this video become sensationalized. Tell me you're an invalid? Okay, well, let's not be ableist. So what is more likely in this situation is not that, like, these guys were deliberately trying to fucking destroy supplies, okay? But instead, it's a difficult area to maneuver. You are giving me, your counter to this is by sending me Conspiracy Gardener Homestead at Days of Noah Gen 6. Dog, these guys are operating on domestic soil in relief efforts. I would consider incompetence to be the first reason for why things like this happen, especially when there aren't, you know, given that we're talking about like a hurricane impacted area, there probably aren't great places that you can land your fucking helicopter. My immediate suspicion is like it's most likely incompetence and not necessarily malicious, like weird secret conspiracy. Okay. It was the National Guard helicopter is aware of an incident involving the NCNG UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter doing delivery of generators at the request of a local civilian organization to power their distribution outpost in western North Carolina. While attempting to land, rotor wash caused items to blow away from the local distribution set up by a group of civilians in the area. The crew immediately identified the situation, aborted the landing for safety reasons, and departed the area. Oh, there you go. It turns out it was the actual fucking National Guard probably going to the designated area to drop the fucking generators that civilians needed. And by the way, this actually dovetails into another conspiracy theory that I'm going to get to, which is when FEMA tells people not to come to impact areas. This has been another reason why people are like so conspiratorial. They're like, we want to send supplies in, but they won't let us into these impact zones. What's going on? Yeah, dumbass, because they don't want you to be the next victim that they have to take care of. That's the reason. This right here, civilian staging areas that are disorganized is quite literally the fucking reason why they tell you only work with FEMA. That's it. You build a fucking civilian staging area on your own if it's not previously sanctioned, and there's not a lot of fucking areas where you can land a helicopter that's carrying a bunch of fucking generators. I suspect things like this happen. Can you show the paper trail of the generators you were delivering? It's crazy. That's what they want you to think. But seriously, all hogs are basically Dale Gribble now. No, literally, this is what's fucking going on. This is when these fucking organizations are supposed to work, okay? And their job is very difficult. Their job is unimaginably complicated. The logistics of such an endeavor is also unimaginably complicated. Bringing in civilians unironically fucks up the relief efforts because you're fucking up the supply chain and you're putting your life at risk. You could literally be the next person that they now have to deal with in terms of recovery. That's why they tell you, don't go into the fucking hurricane zone. Do not go into the impact area. Work with previously ordained and sanctioned organizations on the ground by giving them the supplies or giving them the money. It is very, very, very stupid. And what's unimaginably stupid on top of everything else is that these guys literally do it anyway. And then when this shit happens, they go, see? We can't always just fully depend on the government in the wake of disasters. I'm surprised to hear you criticizing mutual aid efforts. Dude, I'm not simply criticizing mutual aid efforts. I'm showing you how mutual aid goes wrong in the instance of a motherfucking hurricane. Oh my God. I hate you anarchists so much. Hurricane relief and recovery efforts require a shit ton of pre-planning, organizing, and a chain of command, a clear-cut chain of command. Areas where you can actually land, because there's limited safe zones that you can actually land your fucking helicopters, for example, helicopters that are carrying generators, as a matter of fact. There's a conspiratorial reason for anything they're confronted with is sort of narcissism. Yeah, it's so stupid. the military's trying to destroy. Why is the FEMA at war with us? That's a great example. It's like trying to clear rooms with cops, dude. Yeah. Don't worry, officer. I've logged countless hours on Arma. I can do this. I can tactically ascertain and clear these rooms with you, sir. I brought my own service weapon. Oh, helicopters is how they create the hurricanes in the first place, all funded by the government. That's right. FEMA's doing hurricanes themselves. FEMA sounds a lot like female, if you know what I'm saying, brother. I had a bitch-ass ex-wife, Deborah. She was a real hurricane, that one. I'll tell you what, you busted out the chrome caps of my Ford F-450 lifted pickup truck that I brought to this goddamn grocery store so I could help the goddamn people dying. Stop doing your gender woke nonsense, FEMA.